Disciples carry a message, and there is no such thing as a self-initiated disciple. We'll talk more about the first in a minute, but let's stick with the second one. John the Baptist was a prophet. He was the last of the prophets after the tradition of the First Testament. Everyone claiming discipleship of John had to be baptized by John and instructed by John. Everyone claiming discipleship of Jesus was baptized by Jesus or one of his disciples, whose discipleship flowed from God through John the Baptist. This highlights the fallacy of the self-contained Christian. There is no such thing as independent study discipleship.
Okay.
All believers are interconnected and individuated under the study of a teacher, pastor, mentor, and community. We may receive direct revelation from God on certain matters, but that revelation is always predicated upon a discipling dynamic that exists with relation to somebody else. So yes, God can, will, and does speak to you individually.
Yeah.
Sometimes apart from what you have heard and what you thought you knew. But that always happens or flows from the context of a discipling relationship that has given you some notion or sense of how you interact with and operate with God. So even in a spiritually abusive community, in the worst of circumstances, God can speak to you and tell you you need to go someplace else. But the way that he communicates with you is going to be somehow based on what you have experienced and previously known from that community, if that's the only one you came in. God speaks to people through people. God becomes introduced to people through people. And so even in the worst of circumstances, my discipleship or my call out of a bad situation comes through some kind of interaction and discipling relationship, even if I didn't know that's what it was. No independent study Christians.
Yeah.
We may try to be, and God accommodates us to certain degrees because everybody doesn't know that, everybody doesn't understand that, and some people are damaged and need to get away, and their getting away puts them by themselves, and God sustains them while they're by themselves until he can get them in the presence of somebody that can continue their growth and development. But as a practice over years or decades, over a lifetime, the model that God sets up is that discipleship is a continuation of somebody else's discipleship. As Kylo Ren once said to Rey, you need a teacher. Kylo Ren wasn't supposed to, if y'all didn't see the Star Wars movie, it'll go over your head. It's okay. Those of you who did see the Star Wars movie will understand it. And if you didn't, I think it's still on Netflix. You can check it out if you decide to. But Kylo tells Rey, you need a teacher. All the potential and capability in the world, you still need a teacher.